and welcome to Hot News. We are live on Pan African Television. We're also live on Facebook at Pan African Television, live on YouTube as well at Pan African Television. You can join in the conversation by sending your views, comments, and contributions on our WhatsApp text line displayed on screens. We'll make a time and read all those for you. You can as well leave your suggestions, questions, and whatnot on our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter at Pan African Television. We'll also make time and read all those for you. Tonight on Hot News, we are looking at the issue of the elevation of Colonel Agyeman. You know that he was released off his post at the National Security after the, the issue of the City TV, journalist Caleb Kuda, where he alleged that he was brutalized by the National Security, personnel at the headquarters of the National Security. Afterwards, investigations were, launched into that particular issue, and that led to the release of the release of Colonel Agyeman, only for the Ghana Armed Forces to elevate him to another rank and all of that. That has turned an issue. But where we'll focus our attention on is Parliament's decision to probe the elevation of Colonel Agyeman. And I'll read that story out for you and then introduce my guest in the studio for tonight's discussion. The story says, the ranking member on Parliament's Defense and Interior Committee, James Agaga, says Parliament will look into the appointment of Lieutenant Colonel Frank Agyeman as the commanding officer of the 64 Infantry Regiment of the Ghana Armed Forces. I am told that the officer who was reassigned and presented to the Chief of the Defense Staff for disciplinary actions has even now been appointed as the commanding officer of the 64 Infantry Regiment of the Ghana Armed Forces. That is a matter that we'll be interrogating in due course, he stated. Speaking to a sister station, the Brussels North MP stated that the matter will be taken to the plenary the Brussels North MP stated that the matter will be taken to the plenary should it escalate. Okay. Lieutenant Colonel Frank Agyeman, together with 3 other officers, were on May 20 relieved of their duties. This was the outcome of preliminary investigations into the unmerited assault against City FM journalist Caleb Kuda. This was contained in a press statement issued by the Ministry of National Security. Lieutenant Colonel Agyeman was stripped of his position as the Director of Operations at the National Security Ministry. According to the ministry, this is to assure the general public and particularly all media practitioners that the ministry will expeditiously investigate any complaints against any personnel of its agencies. But reports reveal that few hours following the ministry's decision, Lieutenant Colonel Frank Agyeman on May 21 received a top military appointment despite the aforementioned inappropriate conduct he displayed. Mr. James Agaga is of the firm belief that the appointment of Lieutenant Colonel Agyeman to the new position does not serve as a disincentive for military personnel who contravene the standard operating procedures of the National Security Ministry. Quote, so to some extent, it appears that the gentleman in question, Lieutenant Colonel Agyeman, has been rewarded for his misconduct, he said, as part of measures to address the indecence of assault by national security operatives. Mr. Agaga revealed that the position held by DSP Azugu at the National Security Ministry should be reviewed in line with a recommendation by the ML Short Commission, which investigated the violence that occurred during the 2019 Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency by-election. In addition, he noted that all ministers responsible for security in the country would be engaged by the Parliamentary Committee on Defense and Interior to discuss how to solve this menace. I've been joined in the studio by Honorable Cletus Dapila Seidu, who is a member of Parliament for Jirapa constituency. Honorable, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight on the show.
Thank you too for inviting me to your show.
Very well. I think I called you over the weekend and you told me that you were in the constituency. How was the constituency?
I was in the constituency. Constituency, Jirapa is doing very well. We had some funerals and some programs in the constituency, and I returned on Monday morning.
Okay.
Just to Parliament resumed yesterday, so all of us are expected back in the house.
Exactly.
And let me use the opportunity to say good evening to the good people of Jirapa.
Yeah.
Good evening to the leadership of the NDC in Parliament, the national executives, and all Ghanaians who are watching us this evening.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Honorable, once again for joining us. Now, let's delve into the issues properly. We're talking about the elevation of Lieutenant Colonel Ajiman. He was at the National Security, and after the alleged assault on the City TV journalist, Caleb Kuda, he was relieved of his post for investigations to commence into the matter and to assure the public that the National Security Ministry, is ready to investigate the matter to the latter and all of that. 3 days after, he's been elevated by the Ghana Armed Forces. People are of the view that this is a slap in the face of the National Security Ministry. Your take on that?
Thank you, Justice. I think that the national security has become a conduit for government misbehavior. And I, as an MP and as a citizen of this country, will wish that the president should not be honestly, mocking Ghanaians. Such decisions is just like you fooling people. I think the presidency is fooling us. When you take such a decision. And for me, Justice, if the President Nana-Addo had not had the opportunity to rule this country, I would have thought that such things would never happen in this country. Because this is a man that many touted as a man of justice, a man of, incorruptible, somebody who will be firm and all of that. Since he took over the affairs of this country, we have seen the national security, always misbehaving towards civil servants and public servants.
If you say they have been misbehaving towards civil servants and public servants of this country,
yes, or citizens of this country.
Very well. What's your interpretation of that?
Just as if you want to recount, such things or such occurrences that has been perpetuated by the national security, you will come to the conclusion that a lot of bad decisions.
What specifically did they do?
Justice, national security. You saw what happened at Ayawaso West Gong.
Okay.
You understand? Emil Short, was asked to chair a commission. Emil Short, issue, at least some recommendations. What didn't happen? DSP Azugu and his boys, they are still at post. They are still at the national security. They are still there. Just last 2 weeks, they were in the western region and they arrested an immigration officer and handcuffed him. That is what they are doing. Justice. Oh, wow, how on earth can you walk or send your boys to a TV station? City TV.
Yes.
The owners of City TV.
Who are the owners of City TV?
But the owners. I shouldn't tell you. You know the owners. And probably the owner or the director's affiliation to the current government. And if they can walk in there and arrest, Caleb Kuda and the other person in that Rambo style, it means that they can do anything to anybody.
But
in this
the fact
country.
that a certain media house is affiliated to a certain political party doesn't mean that if the party is in power and some workers of that media house misbehave, the national security shouldn't do it.
What was the misbehavior? What did they do? You said they filmed, it was a story. It was a story that the guy went to confirm. They said that cars, Maslow cars were packed at national security to get rotten. So as a media man, The young man went there to confirm whether indeed cars were parked there or not.
I'm not in support of the alleged assault, but I'm saying that you try to link the said media house to the government. Yes, and I'm saying that if a certain media house is affiliated to a certain political party, and the political party is in power, and some workers of the media house, in quote, misbehave, do you expect that the national security as a state agency shouldn't do it?
Justice, in this case, I don't think that those people actually misbehave. In any case, even if they misbehave, is that what they should do? Is that what the law says? The law did not say that you should go and arrest them. If you arrest them, or you can even summon, you can take them to court, you can sue that station. You understand? But you cannot go and arrest them in that Rambo style. Then you took them to your office and tortured them, as Caleb is telling us today. You understand? If they misbehave, yes, they can misbehave. But the law did not say that you should take the law into your own hands. That's not what the law says. So for me, it's a misbehavior. Justice, I think that there's a lot of rot going on in the national security. If care is not taken, look, you can go and do that to somebody and go free. But they can touch one person in this country and there will be a lot of revolt. They can be revolt in this country if they are not careful. They should be very mindful of who they maltreat and what they do. It's not fair at all. Look, all these things is not helping the democratic credentials of this country. It's denting our image in Africa. It's denting our image in the international front. So we cannot be behaving this way when we are touting ourselves as the beacon of democracy in Africa. And this is how our security apparatus is operating. National security has become a ministry. The chief director that is there, he is not a civil servant. He's not a civil servant. He's a retired army general that they brought. And that is one of the things, the reason why he cannot bite. He's brought in there as a politician, not a civil servant. You understand? If you go to the defense ministry, the chief director there is a career civil servant at the defense ministry. So I thought that the chief director in that national security should be somebody who should be a civil servant or a public servant, not somebody that they will bring in to be watching all these things happening. It's totally unacceptable. Somebody who presided over a crime, you claim you want to punish that person. Only for the following day, we hear that you are promoting that person.
It is not the national security that promoted him. It is the military.
It's not the military. Who is in charge of the military? The president is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. So nobody, justice. The Ghana Armed Forces cannot take this decision without the notice of the president. I'm telling you in authority that it is the president that is trying to award.
As it stands now, national security says they were conducting investigations into the matter. It is not confirmed whether or not the national security has done any wrong, or persons in charge, like Lieutenant Colonel Ajima, has done any wrong or whatsoever. So what's wrong with his elevation by, the Ghana Armed Forces, where he belonged properly?
Justice, national security has come out to say that preliminary investigation shows that they did not conduct themselves well. So that is why they relieved them of their posts, their duties. It means they accepted that some crime, or they did not behave well. So I see it so surprising that such a person will be elevated in the Ghana Armed Forces. Justice, even if you look at national security itself, the statement they issue in relieving these people of their positions, as me and you are talking this night, have they come out to tell us which police officers, those 3 police officers that were involved? They didn't tell us. They only mentioned the name of the operations guy. That is Lieutenant Colonel Frank Ajima. He's the only person they name. They are shielding the rest of the officers. You understand? So for me, it's a cover-up. It's a cover-up. They just want to, as usual, play hanky-panky about this issue and it will die off. You know, Ghanaians, especially the media, justice, when a fresh issue like this come out, you know, they will be talking about it, give 3 days, 4 days, 1 week, is gone. Nobody will revisit it. So that is what they are doing. That is what they are doing. For me, national security is now a ministry. Let us ensure that it runs as a ministry. Let us make sure that decisions that are taken at the national security with regards to their operation, it should be in at least within the rules. It should be within the rules, you know, of our country. It shouldn't just be that, oh, I don't like justice or I don't like Pan-African TV. What they are discussing there, please go in there and pick justice and pick his colleagues. No, it shouldn't be like that.
No, but what are your issues?
You know,
are your issues about his elevation, or your issues are about the investigations that are being conducted into the alleged, you know, assault?
Justice, I'm saying that the whole national security setup, the whole.
Because my issue is that my question is that why he has been elevated, fantastic, but
why should that happen?
I don't think
somebody that you want to punish.
I don't think that that should stall investigations. Just as the majority
but you see, even if they wanted to elevate the man, if they wanted to elevate Colonel Ajima, at least they should have waited for the investigations to be concluded.
What is wrong with his elevation without investigations being concluded?
Justice, you know what it means? They are simply just telling us that investigation will come to nothing. You understand? The investigation will come to nothing. That is why they've taken ahead of the investigations. They are even promoting the man.
Is there any law that bars anybody from being promoted whilst investigations are ongoing?
Just somebody that commit crime, somebody that you think didn't do well in a particular position, and you are removing the person. It's unheard of for you to tell Ghanaians that such a person should be promoted. Nobody is a kid in this country. We cannot allow these things to be happening. You understand?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the man should not be promoted, but at least the presidency or the Ghana Armed Forces should have been patient enough. They should have waited for that investigation to be conclusive before they can say that, okay, you were exonerated. So based on that, we are promoting you. People will even understand. You understand? But not when investigations is ongoing. Not when you issue a statement saying that your preliminary investigation shows that there was some wrongdoing. So if somebody did a wrong, why would you want to promote the person? Why would you want to reward the person? You understand? Ghanaians will not take this. Ghanaians will not take this. So for me, I'm saying that the national security is a ministry that, you know, the presidency is using to perpetuate all manner of crimes, you know, which I think that it will not help to promote our democracy. It is denting our image.
Now, this is an argument that has been advanced by the majority leader in Parliament. And he says that despite the development, the investigation must be concluded to help institute measures that will prevent the assault of citizens at the hands of national security operatives and other security agencies. Now, quote, anything that is done to a citizen that we think cannot be accommodated by the law is commendable. Sorry, is condemnable. The armed forces have their own way of promotion. Maybe his promotion is due, and that was why perhaps they have promoted him. I do not know, but it will still not prevent investigations into the matter, and if he is found culpable and he has to be demoted or whatever, appropriate sanctions that should be meted out to him by the structures should be done. A section of the public, including James Agaga and security analyst Dr. Ishmael Norman, have expressed displeasure about the promotion, particularly the speed with which it was, you know, effected. But I want us to dwell on, you know, the statement made by the majority leader. He believes that, well, maybe the Ghana Armed Forces have their own way of promoting people, and as we speak, he is due for promotion, and for that reason he has been promoted and all of that. But he believes that that should not stop investigations into the matter. Once investigations are done and he's wrong, appropriate sanctions are going to be meted out. If he has to be demoted, that will be done appropriately. So why should we still have problems with this promotion and all of that at this stage?
Justice, there's everything wrong with that.
Okay.
It is the national security is let me say, it's a sector of a government or our government. You understand? The Ghana Armed Forces is part of governance. You understand? It's a government. They are all government agencies. So if you go here, assuming I'm a police officer or a military officer, then you send me to peacekeeping, or you seconded me, or you took me out to go and, to go for peacekeeping. Then I go to commit a crime. Then I go to, discharge of my duties. I, aid. Then you think that I should be brought back. Then immediately you return me. Then you want to say that my promotion is due. Then you should give me promotion. What then is the punishment? What punishment are you giving to that person? He will even be so happy. You understand? For me, there's everything wrong with that. Look, what the Honorable Chairman Sabosu is saying is neither here nor there. This investigation will come to nothing. This investigation.
What's your conviction? What makes you think that
my conviction is that this is not the first time. This is not the second time. A whole MP, Sam George, was beaten by these same national security operatives. A whole commission was set up. Recommendations were made. The president was to issue a white paper. What did the president do? Even as part of the recommendations, DSP Azugu and his boys were supposed to be removed from the national security. They are still there operating. They are still there operating. You understand? So for me, there is nothing good will come out of this investigation. And I am so worried that if we should allow such things to be happening, we are just making mockery of our democracy. We should not allow that. We have grown. Our democracy is grown. You understand? And I think that the president should be in charge. The president should know that decisions that you are taking, people are watching. People will question. People are reasoning. So they will not just, watch you take such decisions without them questioning you. They will question your integrity. They will question your capability. Are you the same Nanado that we knew? No. You can't be taking such decisions in an attempt to run this country and you expect that we should be clapping for you. No. These are very bad decisions. Very, very bad decisions. It doesn't augur well for our democracy. I'm so worried as an MP and as a citizen of this country that if we should continue on this path, I tell you that we are heading towards an abyss.
Now your senior, who is a ranking member of Parliament, Defense and Interior Committee, James Agaga, says that Parliament will look into appointment of Lieutenant Colonel Frank Ajiman as the commanding officer of the 64 Infantry Regiment of the Ghana Armed Forces. What are you investigating?
Yes, I think that if the executive...
Because the issue is
the executive is an arm of government. If the executive is trying to cover it up, Parliament as an arm of government can also take it up. It is within the remit. We too can do some investigations about it. So he's not out of place.
What investigations or what are you looking into? Is it about his promotion?
We are going to
assault on the CCTV journalist.
Look at how the whole thing started. We are going to look at who commanded them to go to City TV or City FM to take that action. We are going to start the investigations from there. Who asked that they should be relieved of their post? Who is the one asking that the man should be promoted? Those are the things that we are going to look at. We are going to question, those actions. We won't just allow it to go for free. And I think Ghanaians will be happy to see that such investigations is done. Because, yes, what I'm saying is that these national security boys, they are simply saying that any person, even if you are God, they can come after you. That is what they are telling us. And that is not fair. It won't augur well for our country. They don't want to respect anybody. They think that at any point in time, they can beat a member of parliament, they can go and remove a national security, regional national security liaison officer, they can even handcuff him. Look at what they did in Ashanti region recently. Did they not tell us that these vigilante boys were banned? Did they not tell us there was no vigilantism again in this country? How come that Delta Force boys can go and remove a whole national security? Even if you think that the man was supposed to leave office, you should not go and remove him in that kangaroo style. You should not. You should not. It is wrong. And I heard the new national security coordinator saying that he directed the boys to go and do that. That is unheard of. That shouldn't happen. Is that what the law says? Is that the way to remove an officer from office? No. So that's why I'm saying that if we allow these things to continue, Justice, I'm sorry for our country. I'm sorry. We shouldn't take these things lightly. We should not. Whether you are in government, you are out of government, you understand? Especially those that are in government. We should condemn this. This, what is it? The Ashanti Regional Security Coordinator that they removed from office recently.
Yeah.
How? You go in with a gun, AK-47, in the office of a regional security coordinator, you go and, handcuff such a person, a man of that repute. It is wrong. It is wrong. It means that they can do this to anybody. Please, those who are in government, they think that the government is doing very well. The day the tables will turn against you, that is where you know that, you should have spoken your mind when these things were happening. They shouldn't allow that to be happening. Anybody who is in office, it means that tomorrow, these people can be, asked to come after you, and they will definitely do it. So for me, it's condemnable, that action of national security, always beating people, arresting people in that Rambo style. We should condemn it, and it should stop. We shouldn't encourage that. And I think that the onus lies on the presidency to stop it.
Now, if Parliament conducts investigations into this matter, look into this matter, and comes out with its findings, what would you do? Oh, for us, it's a wrongdoing. We'll come out with our findings, and the committee will make recommendations for them to be punished. So if, as usual, the president decide not to punish them, but everybody would have seen. Everybody will know. The world will know. You understand? And I think that the president should have some amount of shame in him, because he should know that people are watching the decisions that he is taking as the head of state of this country. People are just not ignorant like that. People understand these things. The citizens understand the law. Is that what was happening? Is that what was happening? You made the national security, it used to be a secretariat, you made it a ministry. Let it function as a ministry. Look, there's too much power play within the national security. There's too much power play because they don't operate it like a ministry. It's about when I don't like somebody, then I have a friend in national security, then I'll go and incite, I'll go and tell them that go after this person. That is what is happening. It's a ministry. It should be run as a ministry. You understand? That's why I'm questioning the director that is there. How the director was brought there to be the chief director is another issue. This is a retired army commander. You brought him to come and be chief director. He should be on retirement. It should be a mainstream public servant's job. That's why I said that the defense ministry chief director is not a retired person. He's a career, civil servant. You understand? So under the circumstances, he will not allow such things to happen. He will not, because his integrity is at stake. He has a reputation to protect. He understands the system. But let's look at it from this way. Is this not a case of citizens bastardizing some of our institutions, state institutions, especially an institution like the National Security Ministry? A situation where every little action they take, we see every wrongs with it and all of that. Are we not also being too hard and harsh on the national security for decisions they are taking and all of that?
Yes,
we're not bastardizing them.
We are not harsh on them. We should be very angry on the national security. We should be, we should even condemn them more than we are doing. I have seen that in this country, the hypocrisy and psychopathy is too much. There are many voices that are expected to be condemning such acts. They are so silent about it. But that's why I'm telling you that these people can visit mayhem on anybody any day. They shouldn't think that they are free. They shouldn't think that today it is Caleb. No, it is not Caleb. Today it is Caleb. Tomorrow it will be you. They shouldn't think that today it is that immigration officer that Azubu and his boys went to Western region and arrested and handcuffed. They shouldn't think that it is DSP, what is the name? The Ashanti Regional Civil Coordinator. DCOP Odro.
Yeah.
You shouldn't think that it is, if you think that it is just about him today, tomorrow it will be you. It will be you. They can go after anybody. They can go after anybody. Justice, why will everybody be questioning their actions? If somebody went and filmed a national security zone, can't you invite that person? You can write to the owners of that station and ask that they should bring that guy, the journalist, and they will bring that journalist. You understand? For you to take whatever action, but you cannot go and arrest him. Then you send him to go and torture him the manner in which they tortured him.
But those are allegations. Those allegations are not confirmed.
They are no allegations. The young man will not tell a lie.
Why would you believe the young man against
the young man will not tell a lie?
No investigations have.
The young man will not tell
no investigation has confirmed that there was an assault of a thing.
Justice, if I am arrested today, or if you are arrested today, and you are taken to National Security Secretariat, then you come out to tell us that you were tortured. And the kind of stories the guy related to the public after when he was released, Justice, I want to believe that the young man will not tell lies.
People are also of the view that the young man, I mean, he's a colleague journalist, was trying to cause disaffection for the National Security Ministry.
No, he wouldn't do that.
Isn't that possible?
No. The young man will not do it. The guy, if you look at his narration, you see at least some amount of sincerity in his narration. You understand? What I'm trying to say is that there are many people in this country who claim they were tortured. Nobody was there to see them being tortured. Yet they use that to hate certain regimes and certain head of states in this country till date. But nobody was there to see. They came out and gave their narrations, how they were tortured. Today, Caleb is saying that he was tortured. And I've seen those people saying that it could be lies. The guy might not be telling the truth. That is unfair. Why do you think that in your case, we should believe that you were tortured? And in Caleb's case, we should doubt what he is narrating to the public? It's not fair on the young man. You understand? Justice, the whole thing is that the manner in which they invaded the TV station was wrong. It was wrong. The guy didn't go to kill anybody. There is no law. Well, there is no law saying that that place is a security zone. There is no law that says that. You park cars around, and I've come to film them. Then you come to tell me that it's a national security zone. I should not have filmed. Which law says that? Which law says that if I film an area, I should be beaten? Which law says that? You know, the fact is that, Justice, the law did not just give powers to an individual or an individual institutions. You understand? That is why we have, three arms of government, including the media. These arms of government are supposed to be a check on the other. There must be checks and balances. There must be separation of powers. You understand? So if I commit a crime, that is why even if I steal, the law says that you should not. The law. That's why the law condemns mob action. You understand? If I steal today, and everybody have seen that I have stolen, but the law is saying that they will not beat me. Send me to the police station for the law to take its course. You understand? So if Caleb and the other person did wrong, but the law did not give national security operatives the mandate to molest them the manner in which they did, or even to invade and arrest the style they arrested them. The law did not say they should be arrested in that manner. That is the point that I'm making. Granted that he was not tortured, but the style in which he was arrested was bad. It's condemnable. It's condemnable. You understand? So for me, Colonel Agyemang promotion is questionable. The presidency should come out and respond. They should tell us something.
You mean that his promotion is questionable because he has been relieved of a post from somewhere else and he's...
But this is a man that should be demoted. This is a man that should be demoted based on his actions.
Demoted over what?
He should be demoted. He didn't conduct himself well as a military officer. He didn't conduct himself well as somebody who is being paid with the state payers' money. Justice, if investigation is ongoing, why do you promote such a person? Somebody didn't do well. You kept somebody in an area that the person performed below the belt, that you think that the person should be investigated. Then the following day, you are promoting the person. It means you are rewarding him for what he did. You are rewarding him for his actions. That is what it means. That's what it means. And that should be a concern
Would you agree that the Ghana Armed Forces have their own way of promoting their staff?
Ghana Armed Forces.
And once somebody is due for promotion, the person is
the Ghana Armed Forces from the president. The president is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces.
Okay.
They cannot do some of these higher promotions without recourse to the presidency. You know that. So I'm saying that Lieutenant Colonel Frank Agyemang's promotion cannot be done without the notice of the presidency. They are aware.
What do you expect the president to have done?
I expected that they should have waited for investigations to be concluded. You understand? Then you can come out to tell us that, oh, based on ABCD investigations conducted on these officers, we've come to conclude that the military commander or colonel did not commit any crime. You understand? Then that such promotion can come. Then people might even be charitable. But under the circumstances, we have no option than to condemn what they have done.
Okay.
You understand? You can't be promoting, they are perpetuating an illegality. That is wrong. They are covering the eyes, throwing dust into the eyes of Ghanaians. It is wrong. You understand? The dust, you can put dust on our eyes, but our brains are working. We will still reason and know that you are not doing the right thing. Ghanaians can still reason that you are not being fair to Ghanaians. You are covering up things, which is not fair. You can't run this country like that. For me, I'm worried about Nana Addo. You have lived a life. You said you are one of the pioneers of demo. You call for the Fourth Republic. You did demonstrations to ensure that democracy exists. He tried to claim glory for all those things. Today you are in charge, and all these things are happening. How can I did never expected such a thing can happen under the watch of Nana Addo. No, I never expected such a thing could happen. But it's happening. It's happening under his watch.
Okay.
You understand? Justice, the same national security boys, the boys that they claim, when they claim that justice, when they claim that this vigilantism should be banned and that all the MDC were saying that these boys were absorbed into national security, and Ghanaians were saying, some were saying that it's not true. Is that not what we are seeing?
Who and who amongst?
But you saw some in the group. Some were arrested in Appiah Forest recently, and
those were allegations.
How? You didn't see them? Are they not in court? They are in court. It can be allegation, justice. They are in court. You understand? It
is true that some 10 people were arrested in the Appiah Forest.
Yes.
Who claim to be national security personnel, but that is not confirmed as to whether or not they are from the national security.
Oh, the boys, they are even giving evidence in court. They are saying that they were from national security, and they talked about the fact that certain big men in government, send them to go and operate. So why would they arrest them? You know. So Justice, let us not belittle what is happening in this country with regards to the manner in which the national security is operating. Honorable Kandapa, a very respected man.
But laying the blame, you know, at the doorsteps of this government, or probably of the president, I feel that the operations of national security has been like this ever since. This is not the first time the national security is behaving this way. This is not the first time the national security is apprehending or arresting people in this Rambo-style manner. So why is the blame being laid at the doorstep of this government?
Justice, if you understand national security, national security is an appendix of the presidency. You understand? It's an appendix of the presidency. Mostly, they are in charge of briefing the president about security issues daily, hourly, and all of that.
Okay.
You understand? The presidency is so much attached to them. So you cannot separate the two. Though it is a ministry, it is more or less an, you know...
Granted, but this is not the first time they are arresting people in a Rambo-style manner.
So Justice,
this is not the first time national security is behaving this way.
Must it continue?
But you're painting a picture as though the national security is behaving this way because they are forced by this government to do so. And I'm saying that this is not the first time they are behaving this way. They have been doing this ever since.
Even if this is not the first time.
Okay.
The manner in which it is being done now, it is just, I don't even know the word to use. It is escalating. It is getting out of hands. It should be checked. It should be checked. That is just the point that I want to make. It is getting out of hands.
All right. Okay. Let me take a few of our messages. I'll come back to Honorable. I have some messages on WhatsApp. I have some on Facebook. This one says, my MP, my MP, more fire, watching you from Kumasi. Nala Junior Bob also says, watching you from Jirapa. Sylvester Bawangma, Honorable Cletus, all the best. Thank you so much. This one is also from Issa. He says, Honorable Cletus Seidu Dapla is a grassroots commander, a political strategist, an affable MP for the Jirapa constituency who never disappoints. The good people of Jirapa are proud of you. Keep firing. From Issa. Issa, thank you so much for your message. I have a lot more messages here. I'll be reading out. This one says, good evening, Justice. Good evening, Justice. Please, the security setup, no officer is promoted until the case is over. By Alasko in Timpani. Alasko, thank you so much for your message. A lot of messages we have here. This one says, good evening, Justice. Justice, it is undisputable fact that crime, evil, hooliganism, thievery, and insults, and tomfoolery that gets high reward in Nanado's misleadership. If you are decent, my dad in MPP, President Akufo-Addo, will never entertain you. Jejong in Taifa sent in that one. Jejong, thank you so much for your message. This one also says, Justice, if those boys were not from national security, where did they get the guns and vehicles they were using? Stephen in Kwabenya sent in that one. Stephen, thank you so much for your message. This one says, if Hawa was rewarded with a ministerial position for misbehaving at a police station, and what happened to the national security coordinators at Kumasi and many more, promoting Ajuman after this should not be a surprise. It's now becoming a norm in Ghana now that people will misbehave and they are rewarded. Thank you so much for your message. This one says, good evening, Justice. I'm Bayo Shaibu from Yulo. Tell Honorable Cletus that he should continue the good work of our late MP, Honorable Edward Salia, and take the development of Jirapa and its environs to the next level. Thank you so much for your message, Shaibu. This one also says, I'm Ajambore Baba in Wiamoase. The rule of law is thrown to the dogs under President Akufo-Addo and his MPP government. Journalists are gagged from talking and revealing dubious deals under President Akufo-Addo's government. Hashtag President Akufo-Addo fix the country now. Regards to Captain Jabari. Thank you so much for your message. This one also says, we are experiencing the security lapses in this country these days because they are actual Ghana Police Service and Ghana Armed Forces before MPP Police Service and MPP Armed Forces. Unfortunately, I don't really get your message. It says now there is a very serious problem in the national security, only that they can't come out to say it openly. From James K. Saba. James K. Saba, thank you so much for your message. Please don't call the WhatsApp line. Unfortunately, I'll be unable to answer the line. But my producers can open the phone line for me. I'll pick some few calls also. This one is good evening, my brother Justice. Justice, it is okay. I've read that this one already. J. John. This one says, Justice. This one says, Justice. This government misconstrues security prowess as the power of the muscle instead of the mind. Congratulations to Honorable Cletus Daplasedu. He is simply one of the fine brains in Parliament. We in Upper West Region are very proud of him. From Prosper Poor Iri in Wa. Prosper, thank you so much for your message. This one says, I think this man is on point. Allow him to flow. Abattoir from Takwa, Tamso. Thank you so much for your message. You are asking me of how am I? I'm very fine. What about you? Genia, your name is Genia. This one says, Honorable Cletus Seydou Dapla is a grassroots commander. Well, I've read that particular one already. This one says, seriously, I am surprised to hear Dr. Bawumia saying that Ghana is on course to tackle economic challenges. Dr. Bawumia will not learn to stop telling lies. Who is there to advise my brother, Dr. Bawumia? For me, MPP are pushing him just to destroy his chances of getting the president's position. James K. Saba sent in this one once again. James, thank you so much for your message. This one says, his promotion alone shows that nothing will come out of this investigation. Justice, be there and be asking questions. It will be your turn soon. Dopey in Adenta sent in that one. Oh, my brother, are you cursing me or something like that? Unfortunately, I do not support, the brutality, the alleged brutality meted out on my colleague. But I need to ask the necessary questions. I'm sorry. This one says, how are you? How can you promote an officer for wrongdoing? How can you promote an officer for wrongdoing? This one says, good evening to you, Justice, and to my lovely and humble comrade, Honorable Cletus Dapla. Several instances prove quite clearly that we now have a porous security system. Vigilantes have taken over our security, and all you can expect is indiscipline and impunity. This one is from Dennis Andaban. Dennis, thank you so much for your message. This one also says, well, unfortunately, I can't read that. Thank you for your message. The phone line should be open. I'll be picking some few calls before we wrap up, so that should be done as soon as possible for us to be able to pick some of the calls before we go. This one says, good evening. I have worked at Bank of Ghana before. I'm telling you, we can develop Ghana without borrowing. The money is there, said by Dr. Bawumia. My question is where is Dr. Bawumia, or it was political talk just to deceive Ghanaians and promote and come to power? From James. James, your messages are okay. I have a lot more messages here. Let me read some of them, actually. This one says, I'm Albert. Please tell Honorable Dakua to provide us with borehole and light. Albert, thank you so much for your message. Please don't call us on this line. I've asked that the phone line is open so that you can call us on that. Good evening, my MP. We are not safe with this MPP, government. Thank you so much for your message. Good evening, Justice. What is the reason behind the promotion of, Colonel Ajiman? It is not promotion. Is it not promotion of violence? President Akufo-Addo and his people should, unfortunately, I can't read that. That's an insult. Awal in Tamale sent in that one. I've asked that the phone line is open so I could pick some few calls before we wrap up on the show. Is the phone line open? Do we have a caller? Hello, do we have a caller? Unfortunately, we have no caller. This one says, may God protect Ghana and Ghanaians, from Tony in mile 7. Tony, thank you so much for your message. Now, let me come to you. There are a lot of people who are calling the tablet. Unfortunately, we can't answer the calls on the tablet, but the phone line should be opened so that we could pick some few calls at least before we wrap up on the show. Keep the fire burning. Honorable Cletus Kabri Declan sent in that one. This one says, I know very well that Honorable will not disappoint the good people of Jirapa. Honorable all the way, Mohammed Nasihu in Jirapa Total Filling Station. Thank you so much, Mohammed, for your message. Let me take a final, message. This one says, incompetence of this government has become a norm. Their disregard to due process is their stock in trade. Commit a crime in favor of President Akufo-Addo and you will get promoted. They are really turning Ghana into, unfortunately, I can't read that one. Thumbs up to Honorable Dapila Seidu Cletus. Prosper in Wa sent in that one. Prosper, thank you so much for your message. Now, let me come back to you, Honorable, on the issue of insecurity in the country. How do we end this menace? We keep, lambasting government, rebuking the security services for some of their actions and all of that, but we are not, giving out any solution or whatsoever as to how this menace should come to an end. How do you think that we can end this, brutality on citizens and all of that by the national security?
Thank you, Justice. It all boils down to leadership. You understand? It boils down to leadership, honest leadership for this country. Justice, if you were to recall what happened at the Emil Short Commission, the caliber of people that were they recruited into national security to operate as operatives. You understand? Yeah. It shouldn't surprise you when some of these things are happening. You understand? Let us know what's the qualification for somebody to be a national security operative. Is it just, putting party boys there as a reward because they supported you to win elections? Can't we find any other job for them to be doing? Because security issues must be that secretive. It must be handled with care. It's a delicate institution that we should not just put in party foot soldiers there as operatives. You understand? So for me, we can't stop this. We cannot, stop
let me pick a call. Good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello?
Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, Justice.
Yeah, go ahead with your submission.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, your name and where you're calling from?
Good Alfred.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to thank the Honorable there for Alfred calling from Ubiak.
Lower the volume on your TV set and go ahead with your submission. Do we still have Alfred? Well,
just as like I was saying, I'm saying that we need honest leadership. Which category of people are we supposed to recruit as national security operatives? It must be defined. We must know them. It must just. It shouldn't just be party-full soldiers. You understand? If we want, we can never stop this.
Oh, let me come back to you. Your name and where you're calling from? Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, I'm out there. Currently, I'm a Petra.
Go ahead with your submission.
I'm out there. Currently, I'm a Petra.
So go ahead.
Please, I want to tell Honorable that you should provide us with water at the Yaga Panel and then electricity. This 21st century fact, you don't have lines over there. And it's common drinking water. Honorable knows that last year he visited there for a finger. He knows the Yaga Panel. We are treated water and then electricity. That is the only problem we have there. We are treating with Honorable.
All right.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. I've heard.
Okay, all right. So Honorable says he has heard your plea and something is definitely going to be done about that. Do you have another caller? Your name and where you're calling from? Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm calling from him. Municipality.
Fantastic. Go ahead with your submission.
Thank you. I just want to claim my honorable Prince Deborah. I'm very, very proud of him this evening.
Okay.
And that's all.
All right. Thank you so much for your submission.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for your submission. We are so grateful. All right. Do we have another caller? Your name and where you're calling from? Hello. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah. Hello.
Your name and where you're calling from?
Calling from Wat Central.
Okay. So go ahead with your submission.
I want to take this opportunity, in fact, to comment for the wonderful submission this evening.
Okay.
In fact, he is speaking the mind of many Ghanaians with the kind of things happening in the security front of our country. It's quite unfortunate how people could lower national security at level. It's very dangerous for this country.
Okay.
Like when you are growing a crocodile without giving it a proper training, it will turn around to devour you. So we are pleading to the right authority, the president, the national security minister. They should do the right thing and stop recruiting food soldiers into national security. This is a sensitive, state institution. You don't just put people in there just to reward them for, like Honorable said, for people campaigning for you to win political power.
Okay.
We need some level of professionalism, some level of, high-tech. We are in modern times where national security should not be taken as a joke. So we thank Honorable for the wonderful submission. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your submission. Do you have another one? Your name and where you're calling from? Hello? Hello, your name and where you're calling from? All right, I think we don't have a caller yet, but let's take our final one. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello?
Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Sierra. I'm Peter.
Peter, go ahead with your submission.
Yeah, but the truth is that I think Ghana is being ruled by a cosmetic leader. In the sense that everything that he has is cosmetic. Look at this vigilante group. We saw that Nanado did not disband his vigilante group and went ahead to make a law to make sure that APC disband his vigilante group so that we have a trading. And that's what we are seeing. And everything that they are doing, we can see that they are not doing the right thing. That is why we are so, even if they can write something or to direct a whole people to say something, to go according to their script. How they instruct, that is the electoral commission, to also announce results. So what everything that we are doing now, I can see that Ronaldo is not in control. He is not doing the right thing. After we have a leader who has Ghana at heart, what Ronaldo is doing will never stop this country. And I think he's also the same entity because whatever he's doing today, I'm telling you, APC will never forgive their people because we will do the same thing to the country.
All right, thank you so much for your submission. We're not taking any call anymore. Honorable.
Yes.
Yes, you have some few things to mention.
Yes, I just want to think that the national security structure of our security system should be well structured. It should be, structured in such a way that, for instance, there should be line of order. Who takes instructions from who? Who should be the one who should authorize that go and do operations here and all of that. It shouldn't just be operating in that haphazard manner that when they go to take such an action, then it will be like, I am not aware. This director or this commanding unit will say, no, we didn't sanction it, I am not aware, and all of that. That kind of I am not aware, we are tired about it. You understand? We are paying these people with the taxpayers' money. They must be very responsible. They must not behave the manner in which they are behaving. The Honorable Kandapa is a very respected man. He shouldn't just be a national security minister with a name. He should be responsible. People are watching him. The decisions that you are taking today, for me, Justice, I have always said that. Why can't we make this country better for us and for the generations yet unborn? We can do it. We should stop all these lies. We should stop all this politics and make this country better for the future. Other jurisdictions, they are doing it. They are offering honest leadership. We are not ready to do that in this country, particularly the current regime. It's just an eyesore. It's unheard of what we are currently seeing. We ought to stop it. President Nanado, you are the one in charge. Please be in charge, and you should take decisions that Ghanaians will applaud you when you were not a president. When you were a presidential candidate, Ghanaians hail you in high esteem. They supported you. People campaigned for you to come to power because they believed that you were coming to offer honest leadership. Today, what is happening in this country? You are the one in charge. Nanado, you are 78 years plus.
All right.
Do you still think that you can live another 78 years? No, it's not possible. So why can't you put your foot down and do what is right? Do you understand? Yes, in this country, look at the fight against Galamsey. Look at what is happening.
Yeah.
Is there anything like leadership? Are we not deceiving ourselves? You heard the Reverend, the revered Otufo said that the government, ministers or those who were in his place to do that forum, that they knew those who are into Galamsey. So why are we deceiving ourselves? Why can't we be at least straightforward as far as the running of this country is concerned?
All right.
It's a worry. It's a worry. For me, if I were Colonel Ajiman, I will not take that position as a disciplined military officer. You understand? I would have told them that they should wait for the investigations to exonerate me or otherwise of it. But for you to also rush to go and take this appointment, Justice, somebody at that level, I even wonder how they are going to investigate that kind of person at that level. You understand? So for me, it's just going to be a whitewash. There's nothing will come out of it. And that is where every Ghanaian will blame the president. The national security, the Ghana Armed Forces, they are not on their own. The president is the chief, he's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He is in charge. He appointed the national security minister. He should take action. He should crack the whip.
Fair.
It's a mockery to our democracy that today these things are still happening in the country, especially under the leadership of His Excellency Nanado.
Thank you so much, Honorable, for coming. We are so grateful for your time. This is our time our last on the program. Make a time with us same time tomorrow. My name is Justin Appiah, and the show has been Hot News. Let me say a very big thank you to my cameraman, Bodu, and also to my director, Alberta Ado. Yes. And then also to Sir Chess and Titi for doing the sound for us this evening. Make a time with us same time tomorrow. We've been doing this with Honorable Cletus Seidu Dapila, Member of Parliament for Japa constituency. Let's, keep our fingers crossed and see how Parliament, probe would also, help salvage this situation of brutalities meted out on citizens by some security personnel. Goodbye.
Truly African.